He'd always been quiet. When the university assigned me an alien roommate for the interspecies exchange program, I braced myself for chaos. Maybe a loud, curious creature that would turn my life into a circus. Instead, I got Kale. Kale was different. Tall, sleek, and vaguely humanoid with pale, opalescent skin that shimmered under light, like liquid pearl. His eyes were large, black, and unreadable, and he spoke in a soft, calm tone that reminded me of rain tapping on windows. He was tidy, considerate, and mostly kept to himself. For weeks, we lived in an unspoken rhythm. I studied. He meditated. I cooked. He stared at plants in our small dorm room as though conversing with them. It was surprisingly peaceful. Until last night. I had just come out of the shower, towel wrapped around my waist, my hair dripping down my back. The room was empty, or so I thought. I had music playing softly from my phone, humming to myself as I rummaged through my drawer for clothes. The towel slipped. Damn it! I muttered, reaching to fix it when I heard movement behind me. I froze. Slowly I turned, and there he was. Kale stood in the doorway, completely still, his black eyes fixed on me. He held one of his plant pots in hand, as though he had just come back from watering it outside. For a full heartbeat, neither of us moved. I started, scrambling to cover myself, heat rushing to my face. I thought you weren't here. I returned early, he replied, his voice low, oddly strained. I did not mean to intrude. It's fine, I said too quickly, fumbling with my towel. Just, can you, turn around? He did, immediately, but not before I caught something. A strange flicker color along the sides of his neck, a soft, glowing blue that pulsed once before fading. I'd seen that glow before, in one of my xenobiology textbooks. It was a biological sign of arousal for his species. Oh no. I dressed as quickly as I could, my mind spinning. When I finally stepped out, Kale was sitting rigidly on his bed, the plant pot forgotten beside him. He looked up when I approached, his expression unreadable. Look, I began awkwardly about what just happened. I apologize, he interrupted, his tone still careful, polite. I did not intend to witness you in such a state. It was inappropriate. My cheeks heated again. It's not like you did it on purpose. Let's just forget it happened, okay? He hesitated. Forgetting is difficult. That made me blink. What do you mean? His gaze met mine, steady and intense. Your form is aesthetically pleasing to my senses. It triggered a reaction. My breath caught. Reaction? The faint glow returned at his neck. A compulsion my species experiences when we encounter potential mates. I stared at him, my heart thudding. Potential, what? Kale's jaw tightened, and for the first time since we'd met, his calm demeanor cracked, replaced by something raw, vulnerable. I will maintain control, he said firmly. You need not fear. Fear was the last thing I felt. The following days were strange. Kale kept more distance, avoiding eye contact, retreating to the far side of the room whenever I was around. And I couldn't stop thinking about him, about the way he looked at me, about that glow. It didn't help that I started noticing things I hadn't before, how careful he was with everything he touched, how his voice softened whenever he spoke to me, how his midnight black eyes seemed to catch faint starlight in the dark. One evening, as I sat at my desk pretending to study, Kale finally broke the silence. I will be leaving, he said. I spun around. What? He stood by the window, his silhouette bathed in the soft glow of our room's single lamp. This arrangement is becoming problematic. I do not wish to endanger our coexistence. Endanger? I repeated. Kale, you've done nothing wrong. He turned, and the look in his eyes stole my breath. I want you, he said simply, and I should not. The words hung heavy in the air. I stood slowly, heart pounding. And what if I said, I want you too? His whole body stilled. The glow along his neck flared bright, a breathtaking cascade of blue-white light. You? His voice was almost a whisper. I stepped closer, my palms sweating, my pulse racing. I can't stop thinking about you, Kale. Ever since that night. For a moment, he didn't move. Then, with a low, almost pained sound, he closed the distance between us in 2 long strides. His hands, cool, smooth, cupped my face gently, as though I were something fragile. "Are you certain?" he asked, his forehead resting lightly against mine. "Yes," I breathed, and then he kissed me. It wasn't like any kiss I'd known. Soft yet electric, a warmth that spread through my entire body, as though the glow from his skin had seeped into me. When we broke apart, I was trembling, breathless. "I will never harm you," he murmured. "I know," I whispered back, and this time I pulled him down to kiss me again. We didn't rush things. For all his alien instincts, Kale was gentle, patient. We learned each other, my quirks, his biology, what made us laugh, what made us sigh. What began as an awkward accident turned into something far deeper, something neither of us had expected. And maybe, just maybe, I was glad that towel had slipped